Hey there, Regina Anley here, and it is time for the AI Spotlight. Today, I want to talk to you about how to use an app called Notion for a small team. What is Notion? Notion is a tool that allows you to set up your team in a way that makes communication more effective. That's the easy version of it. It is AI powered. And I'm going to show you today what that can do for you. Now, full transparency, I have a business plan with Notion. I am not using it to its full extent right now. I have one VA that I'm working with right now, and we do stuff on a different level and have no problems with communication. In the past, I've had VAs that I wish I had Notion. So if you've ever hired a VA, maybe you're working with an intern, maybe you have employees. If you have any kind of team member, no matter what they look like, Notion is one of those spaces that actually helps you coordinate things and make sure nothing's falling through the cracks, and it really cuts down on the micromanaging. So if you've ever hired somebody and said, they just can't get it the way I want it done, and yet they know how to do it, but it's just not working out right, it might not be it might not be a problem that they don't know what they're doing. It's just not being communicated effectively. Let's face it, you're busy. You got other things going on. So sometimes when you say, oh, I need to get this done, it just comes out. And in your head, you know what you want to get done, but that other person doesn't. They don't know the details about what you want to get done. And so this is where Notion comes in. So I'm actually going to bring it up on the screen. And the first thing I'm going to do is show you what it costs and what it goes for, because I started using Notion a little bit using the free version. And I encourage that for anybody who's using any tool, go to the free version first. Basic forms, basic sites, basic automations, Notion calendar, email. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do with it. Now, I don't use the calendar or email in there yet. I'm not sure if I ever will. There's a lot of different tools. My main reason for using this is building my team, because I'm going to be adding some VAs onto my team. So I want to build it out. So there's a plus and I know it's really hard to read, super hard to read here. It's $10 per member per month. So $10 per member. So if you have 3 team members plus you, that's $40 a month. Okay. So and that's billed annually, it's $12 if it's billed monthly. So unlimited blocks, charts, everything in free plus this extra stuff. Now I have the business one. That's why it says active up here. It's $20 per member per month. Now this gives me a couple extra things, including Notion AI. Why do I want Notion AI? You're going to find out in a minute. It gives me a bunch of SSO, it gives me verified pages, Express enterprise search, premium integrations. I can integrate my Google. I can integrate all kinds of different things in here. If you have Zapier, if you're using Zapier or anything like that for automations, you can actually integrate this in here. And obviously, if you're big, and you want to use enterprise, but business is good once you're established, right? And you start building that team. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Here is what the screen looks like. Now, up here is the main part. And then when you go in and you first start, you create what's called a team space. So this is where the team's going to hang out. And before I actually go there, let me show you how to put a team in. You're going to use it for you first if you decide to check it out. But if you decide you want a team, right here under settings where it says people, you can add people. So when you add the members, that's when it goes in and it's going to start charging you the extra member, okay? So, but you can add them and you can say what team space. So you can have multiple team spaces. You can have, if you have your company and then you say, you know what, I want my own private little team space to work my stuff in, you can have that as well. And you just don't give them access to that team space. They just have access to the one that you're working on. And here's the team spaces right under there, and you can go create a new one. So it's a really cool tool for organizing. If you're anything like me, like a lot of people, where you've got stuff all over the place, this is great for helping you organize. So going back up here, so this is my home. On the main piece here on meetings, you can set up meetings here in the Notion calendar. You can connect your calendar. Again, that's what I said. I haven't connected my Google Calendar. I don't want that in here yet. When I start working with a bigger team and I add a couple of VAs that I'm looking to add, then yes, I will connect my calendar in here because it's going to show them when I have free time and when I don't have free time. So if they want to book a meeting with me, they can do that right in here. And Notion AI comes with that business plan. It doesn't come with the free or the plus plan. So this is a business plan only. And what this does, this is very much like a ChatGPT, that kind of thing. However, one caveat, this one here does not save stuff. There's no threads, there's no saving. So if you do something here, you want to make sure you save it, because if you don't save it, it's going to disappear. You're going to lose it. Here's where the good stuff comes in. So I have a team space that I call Autumn Ascent. So in here, you can have a content calendar. So you can have a VA in here who's actually putting out your content and creating content, and you put all the stuff here. Idea, you can say new content, and it opens up over here. So if you have ideas and say, hey, my theme of the week is this, and then your VA goes in, okay, here's the stuff, here's the ideas, here's the information that you need to know, and then off they go and they take care of your content for the week. So if you have a VA that you're using to create social media content for you, all you have to do is, put, content week of 1/12/26, and off they go. And now they can go in and they have their instructions on what exactly you want them to do because you gave them those instructions. Calendar, again, the calendar here, they can see if I have my calendar attached to this, it's going to show them when I'm free, when I'm busy, so they know what's going on. They also know stuff like when my masterclass is running. So if they're creating content, they might want to post out, hey, join Regina in our masterclass this week. There's all kinds of different things you can do in there. So that's the content calendar. And then campaign management. So here's a campaign for different campaigns that you're doing. So if you're doing any campaigns out on social media or anything like that, you can put all of this stuff in here. It's kind of like the campaign management project section. And again, this is where your VA would go. You would give them the information. And then all of the stuff that's in here. So if I open up a campaign, here's the campaign, here's about it, the tasks, any related files that you want to put there, so that they have everything that they need and there's no question as to what needs to get done. Social media planner. So maybe you have that VA who created stuff and now they're creating the posts. So now maybe you have a new post, and what's the post date? What's the platform? You can put all of this stuff on here, and they can put the information there so you can review it. So when your social media VA comes in and creates some things for you, now you can go in and say, okay, I'm going to review the week's content, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and off they go. Again, saves time, saves communication, issues with I didn't realize that was really what the theme was or what the topic was, or, I guess I misunderstood. Especially if you're working with any VAs or folks who English is their second language. And a lot of us hire VAs from different areas like the Philippines, Singapore, areas where English is not their first language. If you do that, this is invaluable because it breaks down those communication barriers. Now, projects is a place where you go in and literally it's for projects. So again, if I open up the project, this is a dummy project, quarterly sales planning, comments about the project. You can put more action items in, keep adding more action items, any documents. So you have a whole project going on. So now if you're working on a specific project, maybe you're building a new offer for your business. That would be a project, right? So you have all this stuff going on. You can put it all in there. So if you're collaborating with one of your team members, now you can go back and forth right in here and communicate back and forth. Goals tracker is what it says, it's goals. And again, these are dummy ones that are in here automatically because I'm not using the goal tracker. Content planner, that's here as well. Now, here is the part that I love best about this. So content planner, these are all posting schedule, Facebook, contents, content calendar, everything's right there, right? So again, one-stop shop, you can see everything right here. You see everything that's going on, and you can collaborate back and forth with your team so that you make sure everything is exactly where you want it. Here's what I love best. Now, these 3 things down here, I created them. So I'm going to show you what I did first, but I did them on purpose for time constraints. All you have to do is go up here and create a new page. Now, when I create a new page, it's actually going to create it under my private. And I'm going to give it a name saying, demo for live. And it's going to say, well, what do you want? And in the case of what I did, I'm going to show you over here. We're just going to roll right back up to the one that I did. On the first one, I said, here's some rough meeting notes. So all I did was pop in the meeting notes. Say you have a brain dump. Maybe it's a brain dump. Client attraction with AI. Let's just say, here's all the stuff. Client attraction feels hard. You keep hearing post more. Don't want to be online all day. These are things that, this is real stuff in my world right here. And so when it comes to what's going on, what I did was I wanted to come up with, summarize these notes in a way that the team can understand them. So the team summary, here's what I did. I'm going to actually, let's see if I can find, I got to find the right prompt for you. All I did was, if you go, I'm going to go back to that new one, demo for live, testing out for demo. Right here, see where it says, and you might not be able to read this, write or press space for AI. So if I go like this, now I can give it a prompt. So in the case of this one, I prompted it and said, please create a summary for my team so that they understand what I'm looking for and break it down into action items. And here's what it gave me. Here's the team summary, just based on the rough notes. It gave me a team summary, and it gave me the action items of what to do next. Now, if this is something that my team is doing, now they have clear step-by-step action items. So the next one that I want to show you here with the Notion AI is an SOP. So maybe you have a standard operating procedure that you want to put into place. One of the biggest things that I find most coaches, consultants don't do as they're building a business is create systems and standard operating procedures. And it's not because they don't want to, it's because they're really good at what they do, but they don't necessarily understand the business behind things. And if you're going to run a business, you need systems and you need standard operating procedures. So again, rough notes, weekly content prep. So these are notes for creating the weekly content that I might hand off to a VA. Pick a main idea for the week. Need a blog, email, and social. Don't overthink the topics. Pull from one main message. Blog first, then email, then social comes from the blog. So it tells them. So all I did was, again, underneath this, I hit the space bar, AI came up, and I said, create a standard operating procedure that gives step-by-step instructions for creating the weekly content. Weekly content, SOP. The purpose outlines a step-by-step process for preparing weekly content, including blog, posts, emails, and social posts. And here you go. Step 1, it breaks it down. So that if you're working with somebody and they're not necessarily hearing everything, if you've ever sat in a meeting with a VA and you explained to them exactly what you wanted, and then you got done, and then you didn't get it, and they were like, oh, I didn't hear you say that. You need an SOP. This gives them step by step by step. There is no, oh, I didn't realize I was supposed to do that. Responses, right? Create the email, develop social media, review the content. Notes, always work from one main message to maintain consistency. It literally wrote out a perfect standard operating procedure for creating that content, just using the AI inside of Notion. And then last but not least is tasks. So maybe now the task is to create the blog. And they're like, okay, well, you said create the blog. Okay, I have a topic and stuff, but I don't know exactly how you want the blog created. Break it out into a task. So that's one of the tasks that go with that standard operating procedure. So here's the weekly blog prep, and it's really super simple what I put in there. Get the blog ready for next week, use AI if helpful, make sure it sounds like me, add links if needed, schedule it. And then again, right after this, because this is my demo, so right after this, when I put this in, I hit the space bar, Notion AI came up, and I said, please create the step-by-step instructions for this task. And here you go. Steps to complete, draft the blog content, use AI assistance, and it gives you information here. Review for voice and tone, add relevant links, schedule publication. It gave me everything that I needed for that. Now I can take those and share them with the team. So I can create a team space called Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, where they can go to find every single standard operating procedure that they need so that there's no confusion. And when you add somebody new to your team, everybody's on the same page. So that's key, especially if you're building a team, is that you want everybody on the same page. Notion AI, it's actually notion.so. So I actually love this app for the creation. There's all kinds of different tools. I've tried a bunch of different ones in the past. And this one by far for me has been the most effective. There's a lot of moving parts. So you do need to set it up. But here's a tip for you. If you don't know how to set it up, guess what? Go to ChatGPT and say, I'm setting up a team space for Notion. I don't know how to do it. Please tell me how to set up a Notion team space. ChatGPT knows what Notion is and can search and find the information, and ChatGPT will give you step-by-step instructions on how to set up your Notion. So that goes for pretty much every app. So there's a major tip right there for the day, is to use that if you're looking for ways to set things up instead of watching 5 million YouTube videos. So that's what I've got for you today. Try out the free version of Notion and see if you're planning on building a team or already have a team, and maybe you're a little discombobulated, not all on the same page, or having to do all that micromanaging. See if this actually solves those problems and makes your business run much more efficiently. That's what I've got for you today on the AI Spotlight. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.